Now, the Libyan opposition claims that NATO has hit one of their tank positions. Reports say 13 people were killed in the strike. Meanwhile, the rebels have sent their first crude oil shipment to Qatar. Now, RT's Yegor Piskunov now joins me live from the rebel-held city of Benghazi. Yegor, we've seen on this day, we've seen losses incurred by government troops, we've seen them incurred by opposition forces as well, but now we're seeing them being caused by the alliance.
Well, first of all, I'd like to apologize in advance if we experience some problems with sound because the wind is really strong today in Benghazi. But concerning the latest events out there on the front, there's quite a lot of conflicting information coming out of there at the moment. According to some reports, NATO did attack accidentally a number of the rebel fighters and their tanks around 20 kilometers away from the oil-rich town of Brega, currently under control of Gaddafi's troops, and the doctors in Ajdabia, which is a city to the east of Brega, basically the next big city after Benghazi. The doctors there say that 13 people were killed in this attack. However, we do also hear these reports from the witnesses of what happened there today earlier, and they say that in fact it didn't seem like it were NATO planes, but it seems in fact that this attack was conducted by Gaddafi's forces, and it killed not 13 but at least 40 or 45 rebels. And right after that, the checkpoints of the rebels forces right near Ajdabia, which is around 50-60 kilometers east of Brega, they were attacked and basically sent the rebels running in chaos, retreating once again. And one of our teams was actually filming there at the time. They say that they didn't hear any planes, they didn't hear anything, they just saw all of a sudden various explosions going on right in their area, saw everybody get in their cars and to just evacuate from that place, including the rebels, and even they saw the army being evacuated, buses filled with soldiers going faster than they were at the time, and they say it was really chaos. One of the rebels actually jumped into their car, just running away from this attack, and it all comes after one of the biggest oil deposits currently under control of Gaddafi that came under attack earlier. Gaddafi is accusing NATO of doing that, but in fact the alliance says that it was Gaddafi's job. It was done by his forces. So we are monitoring the situation at the moment because, according to other reports from the front, the city of Ajdabia itself is now possibly being shelled, also both on its western gates and even on the eastern gates, which means from the side of Benghazi. So we're going to see what's going to happen next if the troops, Gaddafi's forces, may try to take over the control of Ajdabia, or they might want to go around it and just go straight towards Benghazi. We'll have to see how the situation develops, and it may actually be known in just a few hours because Ajdabia is only a few-hour drive away from here.
Well, certainly a tense time where you are, Yegor. But we're getting reports here about levels of resentment and anger among the rebels being directed towards the coalition forces, that they're not doing enough to supply arms and logistical support to the anti-government forces here. But is it possible, do you think, that the NATO forces are proving to be somewhat of a disappointment for the rebels?
Well, I've been here for some time now, and it's pretty clear here that the general mood among the public, among the people here in Benghazi towards NATO has changed just over the past week, because a week ago everybody here in the city was saying how NATO were their saviors. They were praising the alliance for stopping Gaddafi's forces, pushing them away from Benghazi and opening the way for the opposition fighters to advance west, and they were actually able to make this giant leap several hundred kilometers west. Now they're pushed back, and the front line the entire week has been moving back and forth, but only just around the city of Brega, just where this alleged NATO attack on the rebels' forces happened today, earlier. And everybody here is now saying that NATO is not doing enough. They don't think that NATO is complying with the obligations of the resolution of the United Nations to protect civilians. And some people here, including those among the interim government, they even say that perhaps they should ask the United Nations to stop this operation altogether. We talked to some of the locals and the rebels and prepared this report earlier. Here's what they had to say, and here's some of their stories.
A veteran of the Libyan army, Mufta Abdul Ghani, served his country all the way to retirement. But now he's fighting for the revolution and is among the few rebels at the front with military training and experience.
Our forces are not even. We are ready to fight to the death, but with these weapons we don't stand a chance against Gaddafi.
Since NATO took control over the no-fly zone operation, its planes have made more than 1,000 sorties into Libya, including 400 attack missions. The alliance claims around a third of Gaddafi's forces have now been destroyed. But despite help from the skies, on the ground, the rebels are still taking a pounding.
NATO has failed. There are civilians in Misrata, and we daily have many martyrs. And yes, they have been delaying taking proper actions against the Gaddafi troops.
For the rebels, taking the town of Brega means clearing the way west. But just when it seemed they were at the doors of the oil-rich town, a new series of mortar attacks by Gaddafi's forces triggered a chaotic retreat.
Just a week ago, Benghazi was full of revolutionary euphoria. It seems the entire city praised NATO for its support. But as the front line continues to move back and forth, and the list of those killed or missing grows every day, it seems the rage among many locals over the alliance's current tactics is rising as well.
Protests like this one are becoming a common scene. Many are accusing NATO of failing to protect civilians. They aren't asking for help anymore. They are demanding it.
What are they waiting for? For Gaddafi to kill us all? We demand a new UN resolution which would allow arming us.
But experts say arming the rebels alone wouldn't help swing the war.
What the rebels need is not so much arms. They can use arms, but without training, they're not going to be able to do anything.
Reports are now surfacing that the US and Egypt are covertly training anti-Gaddafi forces, going beyond the mandate of the UN resolution that established the no-fly zone. Igor Piskunov, RT, Benghazi, Libya.